Welcome to our channel. Today I'm going to talk about the band Trivium and the new album In the Court of the Dragon. So I'm going to be honest with you all. This is a band that I have listened to on and off in the past. I never really gave them a lot of attention. I remember it was just last year they released their album What the Dead Men Say, and I didn't really listen to it that much. I do remember I liked the song The Catastrophist. That was pretty cool, but this new album came out and you know, I'm going to review it, and I did give it those three required listens in order to do this review. And you know, I do like this band a lot more than I did before. This is actually a pretty good album, so let me talk about it. So one thing about this band is that they are a very consistent band. Now, this is a time when many bands release albums every 5 or 6 years. So let's say a band like Metallica or Iron Maiden, you know, every 5 or 6 years. This band has an album out every 1 to 3 years. So their debut came out in 2003. They never really went more than 3 years without releasing a new studio album. This is their 10th album, pretty impressive for 18 years. You know, considering that's what Metallica released in 40 years. So this is a band, it's kind of hard to put in a specific subgenre. I would say the closest genre of metal is maybe metalcore, but they do incorporate a lot of elements of thrash metal and progressive metal. So on this album in particular, they still have that metalcore sound, but I hear a lot of elements of thrash metal and traditional heavy metal, maybe Iron Maiden. There are also some hints of folk metal on a song like The Shadow of the Abattoir. That one has a slow intro, almost like a medieval feel. And there are some Pantera-esque groove metal riffs in a song like No Way Back, Just Through. Also the song Fall Into Your Hands is pretty cool. It has a slight alternative metal feel in the opening riff. So they do experiment a little with other genres, but this is mostly metalcore and thrash. So Matt Heafy is the vocalist of the band, and he has many different vocal styles that can be heard on this album. Most of the songs have a mixture of aggressive metalcore style vocals, but he also does clean vocals in most of the songs. He also sings in a low crooning style in the song The Shadow of the Abattoir, and he delivers some distorted vocals in the song From Dawn to Decadence. So you also understand the lyrics a lot in all of his songs, but even when he's doing his heavy aggressive vocals, you do understand everything. On guitars is Corey Biolo. I probably just butchered his name, but he has a very fast and heavy style. So on this album, he plays a lot of fast metalcore riffs. He also mixes in a lot of those palm muted thrash metal riffs. One thing I noticed on this album is that most of the songs have really heavy breakdowns. There are a few songs that have that melodic lead guitar melodies, and those remind me of Iron Maiden at times. The solos are very good. At times the solos really shred, and other times the solos are really melodic. He has a very fast and technical playing style. It blends heavy metalcore riffs with these chunky, distorted, palm muted thrash metal riffs. So his sound on the album is very unique. So on bass is Paolo Gregoletto. His bass playing is very fast paced. It keeps the fast rhythm section going. There are a few songs where you can hear the isolated bass, like In the Court of the Dragon, Feast of Fire, and Fall Into Your Hands. Paul also does the clean backing vocals, and you do hear him on songs like A Sword Over Damocles, and his thick bass sound can be heard throughout this album. On drums, we have Alex Bent. Most of the songs on this album are very fast-paced. He's able to keep up with the rhythm. He lets loose a lot of blast beats, and the drumming is very fast-paced and energetic, on most of the songs. The song Fall Into Your Hands, that has a really great drum intro. And they do have some additional instrumentation, orchestral elements on a few of the songs, during mostly during breakdowns. You know, being that this album does have a historical context, there are parts of songs that have a very epic feel. You know, for example, the opening track is called X. It's a short instrumental. It just sets the stage for the first track. The Shadow of the Abattoir, that one has some parts of the song with orchestra, and Fall Into Your Hands, that ends with a slow orchestral outro. The album cover, it's really cool. I really like the album cover, and it almost looks like a Dio album cover, if that band was still around, but it has a very epic power metal feel, but that's kind of one genre this band doesn't do. The song lyrics are related to history. So for example, the song The Phalanx is about an Egyptian military formation, and Like a Sword Over Damocles is taken from like ancient Roman history. So the album has 10 songs, basically 9 full songs, considering the first track is a short instrumental. The songs are like between like 4 and 7 minutes. Doesn't really feel like a long album. It's 52 minutes long. I'm just going to talk about like 3 favorite songs now that we're like really into this review. So one of my favorites is In the Court of the Dragon. This was like one of the first singles. I think the first one actually. Has a metalcore sound. The guitar riffs are very heavy. The vocals are very aggressive, but you can understand them. Lots of technical riffs. The clean singing in the chorus, I really like that. Heavy breakdowns, some thrashy riffs in the breakdown. There's like a cool tempo change in the song, and there's like fast drumming throughout. That's really cool, and really thick bass sound, and you can hear that towards the end of the song. Another song I like is called Like a Sword Over Damocles, and I'm keep messing up that pronunciation. I probably should have Googled how to say that, but I like the song a lot. The intro riff sounds like slow, like thrash metal. Very technical riff right before the first verse. Lots of like chugging riffs in the verse. Cool blast beats in the pre-chorus. The vocals in the chorus are very memorable. Very melodic guitar solo in this one, and you do hear some of those like background vocals on this song as well. And Damocles is from an ancient Roman history. Probably my favorite song on the album is The Phalanx. This was I think the 3rd single. Very Maiden-esque riffs in the intro. Then it goes into a classic thrash metal riff that goes right into that first verse. This is a very kind of like an old school sounding song. It has a mixture of aggressive vocals and clean vocals. There's lots of melody in the chorus. There are shredding solos. He sings in like a low crooning style at like one point. Has like a classic heavy metal riff in the breakdown. Some melodic lead guitars. Heavy thrashy parts after the breakdowns. So like, the song has different like tempo changes. There's some slow epic parts with the melodic guitars, and like the last 2 minutes of the song that kind of like changes it up a little bit, and just like I said, the last song on the album, but really ends it off great. Probably my favorite song. So in conclusion, I really like this album a lot. I think after a few listens, it did grow on me, like even though I did start listening to it like today in the morning. But my score for this, 8.5 out of 10, is very good. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this album. Tomorrow I will do an album by the band Eclipse, and the name of the album is called Wired. I'll do that one like tomorrow morning or afternoon. And if you know Josh Keish, he's been on this channel. We've done collabs. He's a big Trivium fan, and a couple months ago he did a band ranking. So I'd like to link his video. I'll do that like right there. If you want to see a ranking of this, it doesn't include this album, but because it was a couple months ago, but check that out right there. And it's a Trivium discography ranking. So that is it. Thanks for watching. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.